Hello everyone, this is Drewmy and welcome to episode 8 of Volcano Block. As we get started today, I want to use some of these 36 levels that I have to do some enchants. This might as well, right? Fire aspect sharpness. Alright. Of course I'll probably never get an enchant as broken as that magic siphon one, but take what we can get. Probably shouldn't have just taken that. Probably don't need fire protection either, considering I'm fire immune. But alright. Well, those are the enchants I got. Good start. Next up, let's get back to doing quests. So where were we? Right, we just made soul steel ingots. So the only quest left to do is, I guess we have to get our embers stuff together so that we can get into calculating. Alright. The process of making ember crystals is we infuse crystal catalysts with a blood infuser and we get 1 ember crystal per. Yikes. These crystal catalysts I can make a lot of, I'm sure. Craft some of those. It's kind of annoying how each time I relog, I have to turn on my sorting options here, especially JEI sync. Kind of wish that would just persist, but alas. Anyways, crystal catalyst. Crafting tab. I guess we have to blow up some more crystals. Alright, let's just do multiple stacks of these. Well, actually, hold on. Now that I have the soul steel, can I use the shard picking table? Previously, I was missing the ability to make a dust picker, right? So I want the dust picker for the, I assume, yeah, this one. Oh wait, do I not have soul steel? I thought I just made soul steel. Is that what we did? Oh, there we go. I just didn't put it into our storage system. Alright, I guess I still need at least 1 shard to get started. So let's just blow up a stack of crystals. Turn them into individual ones and give them the squish. The fact that you can squish an unlimited number of items at once is super convenient. Let's learn how to use this now. So we make a dust picker, and then do we just right click it on that? No, let's read the book. According to the documentation, we have to use this mysterious dust. Oh. I see. So, but I can turn mysterious dust into any given type of shard doing it this way. Honestly, given how slow this is, I would kind of rather use the crystal burst seeds to farm up a lot of crystal and then get all the shards. Because this will, you know, like in a minute, I might get a stack-ish, not even, like half a stack of a single shard. But in that same minute, I can just blow up a bunch of crystal burst seeds and effectively get multiple stacks of every shard. So, cool concept, but it's kind of lacking in execution. Let me see if this thing can be enchanted. Maybe an enchanted can have efficiency on it. Well, I don't have EXP to enchant it anymore. To farm some more EXP, I turned my mob farm back on, and despite the changes I made, it's still leaking Enderman. Oh, I'm gonna try a different solution. I believe an Ender Tether just simply prevents Enderman from teleporting in a radius around it. So, I could just also spawn other mobs, but Endermen give a lot of EXP. Also, they're really loud apparently. But they give a lot of EXP and a lot of blood, so they're very convenient to farm, minus the fact that they teleport all over the base. But it's looking like now when they try to teleport out, they're being sucked back in, which is what I want. Let's see how enchanting it works. So, efficiency on breaking. I was kind of hoping for fortune, but you get what you get. Whoopsies. Don't think that made a meaningful difference. Yeah, it still feels the same. I'm just gonna stick to the tried and true using burst seeds. Well, that was a cool experiment, I guess. Perhaps there's one niche use for the shard picking table, is when you literally only need one type of shard. But when, especially we're doing these crystal catalysts, right, which literally use every single type of shard, it's far more worthwhile to do something that gets you all of them at once. So anyways, crystal catalysts, let's make a handful of these. 58, that'll do. And then we'll turn them into things in here. Oh wow, it's pretty quick too. And we need the blood. Let's actually put the blood efficiency upgrades as well. So what were those called? Now that we're using a significant amount of blood, having the increased efficiency would be nice. This one, Promise of Productivity. That needs at least a level 1. Yeah, we can do that. I'm going to need a bit more iron to make these promises because they take a block of iron each. So I've been saving up these geodes for quite a while, and I think it's time that we gotta crack-a-lackin' and crack them all open. It's needed to also upgrade our hammer just to see, you know, how good I can eventually make it. Kind of forgot how to do that already. Hone it for durability. Ooh, of course, a level 3 hammer. But yeah, we'll crack open like 20 plus stacks of geodes and get tons of iron. One thing I haven't tried doing is putting something in the socket slot here, the binding slot. So I'm going to put a pristine diamond in there. Who knows what that does. Doesn't seem to affect the stats I need, but yeah, I don't know what that did. There's a little blue dot in it now in the picture. Guess that's what it did. The total yield from those 20 odd stacks of geodes was a lot of stuff. Almost 2 stacks of iron, tons of diamonds, and other valuables, I'm sure. Anyways, put this away and then we can get back to making those efficiency upgrades. Here's the second of our promise of productivities, and let's see what impact that has. Oh, they stack. Oh, I expected them to go like this. Wait, does that mean I can put like a whole stack of these in here if I wanted to, and have speed upgrades? Huh. Let's test it out. So this recipe normally takes, I think it's 1,000. Yeah, 1,000 blood. So 19, 463, 18. So that took 500 with 2. Let's just make sure they actually function as advertised when you stack them. Yeah, that definitely worked. I wonder how high these stack to. Huh, just out of curiosity, I'm going to check something. They stack to 4. Okay, well, I mean, I may as well make 4 of them, right? Since these upgrades stack, I figure I may as well make 4 productivity ones and 4 velocity ones, just to speed it up, because Blood Diffuser can be a little bit slow sometimes. So this recipe normally takes 10,000. Let's see how much it takes with 4. So we're at just a hair under 22,000. 21938 and 219. So that's like, it took like 1,700 instead of 1,000, instead of 10,000 blood. Not a half bad deal if I could say so myself. And then once we have some speed upgrades going, the crafting process should get much faster. As far as I can tell, the speed upgrades don't decrease efficiency as well. It's just a straight up speed upgrade. My favorite type of speed upgrade. The only significant cost to making 8 of these various upgrades is the 1 block of diamonds, or not diamonds, sorry, iron that's used in each. So there's 8 blocks of iron in here, but besides that, the material cost at least is quite low. So anyways, now it should very quickly turn all these into ember crystals, consuming a meager 300-ish millibuckets of blood each. So now that we have ember crystals, we can, well, we have to set up our Ember Activator. In fact, there's a tier 2 Ember Activator, right? What's it called? It like uses lava and stuff to get more ember out of ember crystals. Here it is, the pressure refinery. So this requires a bit more setup, but you get like twice or maybe even 3 times the amount of ember per unit of ember crystal you put in. Basically, it makes your fuel last longer. So seeing as how it doesn't look that difficult to make, let's just make one. Specifically, it needs, okay, that type of copper block. Excellent. We also need a spare copper block. I guess we're getting some mob crapping here. A spare copper block to power it. The pressure refinery must be placed on top of a copper block. And then the copper block itself needs to be surrounded with lava. So let's move some lava over here. I'm not sure if you need lava all the way around or just the 4 cardinal directions, but I just put ember or put lava all the way around it just to be safe. Anyways, then you input ember via a hopper or similar thing to the bottom block, and it should start melting if memory serves me right. It does have a production multiplier of 3x. So that means that basically compared to the Ember Activator, you get 3x as much ember. Now, why are you not running? Invite me to redstone signal? I know a lot of things in Embers requires redstone signals to run. Oh wait, it needs water too, doesn't it? Right, that's what's missing. I couldn't find a infinite water source, so I'm doing the next best thing. Right now I'm just having a tank filled with water. We're extracting it with the fluid extractor from embers and piping that into the pressure refinery. Every now and then we're going to have to refill this water, although the pressure refinery seems to use rather little water. Anyways, it's already maxed out, so I think once it maxes out, it stops burning ember. It has 40 pieces internally, and it'll just hang on to that, so it doesn't waste ember or anything. You don't have to worry about that. Alright, next up we can make a melter, and that will allow us to melt ores and other stuff. I made a couple melters, and I did the next quest too. I made the mixer centrifuge, and now let's set them up. So first of all, we have to take our ember that's coming out of our pressure refinery and link it to something. First, I'm going to link it to a copper cell. The copper cell is basically a battery, and I kind of forget how this linking works. I think it's shift right-click the destination, and then regular right-click the source, and then apply a redstone signal to the source. But I might have one of those steps backwards. And then that should start transmitting ember from the source to the destination. Voila. So I'm using an ember cell here, which is basically a battery, but these ember connections are typically 1-to-1. So one transmitter links to one receiver, and a copper cell here can serve as a splitter in a way because it has multiple faces available to it. So anyways, if I wanted to, I could put one of these ember dials on the cell to see how much is in it. I'm just going to trust that it's going to fill up at some point. The rate of transmission for these emitters is not terribly high. As you can see, it's only transmitting, 10 per... Maybe it's 1 per tick? 10 per screen update, but it seems to update about 2 per second. Anyways, from there, we can then put a couple more emitters on the copper cell, like so, and link those to machines. Alright, some of the first machines we're going to use are melters. So, let's start with 2 of these. Melters take inputs and just turn them into their liquids. And the documentation here tells us which side it accepts items versus ember on. Find what tab it's in. It's a little annoying how, you have to, what is it, alt-click? Control right-click to tell the book, yep, I read your tab, please show me the rest of it. I wish there was a way to be like, can you just tell me everything? So that, let me find what I'm looking for. But anyways, melter. Using yada yada yada. When the melter's bottom block is provided with ember, it will melt down multiple items in the top block into liquid state where the fluid can be piped out. Alright, so bottom block is what receives. And let's link these. So link this to that. Link this to that. And then apply some levers. Alright, there we go. So now ember is being transmitted into our melters. The goal here seems to be... Well, let's see what it takes to make a stamper here. Do I need anything else? No, I don't. One of my first goals I want to make is Dawnstone, though, because Dawnstone is needed for the beam splitter, which can, well, you guessed it, it can split the Ember beam. So let's make some Dawnstone. I believe this is a ratio 1-to-1 of gold to copper. So yeah, gold to copper makes Dawnstone, and that is made in the mixer centrifuge. Let's put that here, and let's read the book to see how it accepts its items. I recall the mixer centrifuge is backwards from the melter for some reason, and it won't be in this tab. Let's see, mixer centrifuge. Each face of the bottom is its own tank. When fluid is pumped into the bottom, and the top block is given ember, a molten alloy will be created, which will be pumped out the top. Got it. So it's ember in the top. Again, backwards from the melters. Link this, that. Power it. Good, ember flows there. And then we need to transfer the fluid from the top of the melter to the bottom of the mixer centrifuges. There's a bunch of ways to transport fluids in this pack, or at least there's some ways. You can use the embers pipes, but one downside about these is that they have an internal buffer, and it's actually really hard to, I mean, you have to press shift, but you can see what's in the internal buffer. When working with exact amounts of fluids a lot, I like to just never have internal buffers in my fluid pipes, because anything that gets stuck in your fluid pipe ruins the exactness of your system. So anyways, I'm going to use integrated dynamics and integrated tunnels for this. This is really like the absolute bare minimum of what you can do with this mod. So anyways, what I have configured is a fluid importer, and I want this on import all fluids mode, which means basically just extract always. Right? To do so, I need to put a true card here, and there we go. Now, to make a true variable, I have to create this a logic programmer, and I can take a blank variable card and set it to true. Wow. I can also like input, numbers, values, whatever, bunch of stuff you can do with that logic programmer. But anyways, here I want export all fluids true. So effectively, this is like a fluid conduit, right? You extract here, insert here. And I'm going to do the same thing on this opposite side here. So a exporter is a bottom block, right? Yeah, exporter there, importer here, and I need to program a couple more of those true variable cards. So if I have this set up right, I should be able to put gold ingots in here where it gets melted, copper ingots in here, or I could use ores or whatever later, where it gets melted, and then that should all get pumped into this mixer centrifuge. Let's see, we have molten copper there. Why is it not getting pumped? Import all fluids true. Export all fluid. And the copper is still chilling in the melter. I think I know what's wrong. It's been some time since I've used integrated dynamics, so bear with me here. But if we think in applied energistics terms, the fluid importer is like an import bus or a fluid import bus, and this is like a fluid export bus, right? If your network just has an import bus and an export bus, it doesn't actually do anything. What we want instead, we have to switch one of these to what is effectively a storage bus or an interface type thing. So here, let's take the, it doesn't really matter which, let's take off that and replace it with a fluid interface. And now what will happen is this imports all fluids. In fact, we can already see that it's empty. It imports all fluids, and the interface, it says, yep, go ahead. I'm on channel 0. Go ahead and put stuff in channel 0. And because this is configured to import on channel 0, it gets stuffed in there. Apparently I can't view its contents. But we do the same thing here. So I need another fluid interface. I guess some of these just have some data attached to them already. That's fine. do that, and that should also empty that out, and almost immediately the mixer centrifuge begins mixing, and we have Dawnstone coming out the other end. Alright, with that Dawnstone, I'm going to set up the stamper, because that's how we turn the liquid Dawnstone into items. So we need a stamp base, a stamper, and a bar stamp. I assume the bar stamp is how you make ingots. To set up the stamper, you can optionally use a bin. I think it's far easier to have one than to not have one, because this automatically collects the resources that are done when they're done. Then you place the stamp base on top of that. Place any filler block on top of that, which I literally have none in my inventory. Alright, any filler block, and then the stamper, dang it, top of that. There we go, and then we can get rid of these fillers. Then put the stamp. For now, I think we'll be using mostly the bar stamp, although we also need the stamper to make plates, so we'll eventually also have a plate stamp. Maybe some other things. I guess we can turn 1 into 4 this way, although we can already do that in the grinder. I don't know. I'm sure there's various other stamps you might use throughout. But anyways, put that on the stamper. Fluid goes into the stamp base and Ember goes into the stamper, I believe. Let's check. Molten metal into the base and the... Wait. Oh, does the stamper not need Ember at all? No, never mind. Place a stamper 2 blocks above the stamp base, give it Ember. Right. So it's Ember up high, fluid down low. I hooked up Ember from our Ember cell. I also set up another Ember cell. Is that 1 block too low? It is 1 block lower than my other one, isn't it? Dang it. Too bad it stays there now. But anyways, this Ember cell just served to have more split off points if needed. And then, anyways, let's turn on this fluid importer, and almost immediately our stamper gets to work. So every couple seconds, it stamps some of the molten Dawnstone into Dawnstone ingots, which we can withdraw from here, I think by right-clicking with an empty hand. You can also interact with that with any item extraction, which I guess we can do now because we have the integrated dynamics item. Anyways, the quest now next calls for an Archaic Brick, which is, I guess it's easier to make it in the stamper than it is the alchemy recipe. In fact, you need one to make more this way. Alright, so this is a resin to gold mix, where let's use the wood. So it's 2 wood to 1 gold ingot. And let's make a handful of that. Total inputs then should be 8 mineral wood into the melter. Just double check that. Yep. 8 mineral wood into the melter. 4 gold ingots into the other melter. They melt, and then they mix, and then they should stamp. So let's empty out that. And there we go. Yep, there's 1 brick. That completes the quest. Alright, 4 more ember crystals. We'll just stuff that in here for fuel. How much of this stuff have we burned already? About 1/3 of it. Okay, plenty of fuel left. Next we have to make an Archaic Circuit. Alright, need 4 total ingots. 1 more, come on. Do the stampy thing. Nice. I think normally you get this stuff as drops from the golems that spawn, but you know, no mob spawns in here, so can't get that. Anyways, let's see. That is around a copper ingot. There we go. 1 Archaic Circuit. I don't even know what this is for. What does this do? Ah, it's a crafting component in the calculator. As well as a crafting component in the void upgrade. Alright. I'll take it. This is the only way to make it. Alright. But now we can make the calculator. Ooh, so this looks like it just puts together a lot of the work we've done making stuff like, well, the Archaic Circuit. I'm sure there's stuff in here that requires using the blood infuser and all that jazz, but it really feels like the culmination of a lot of steps. So let me get some materials together and we can start calculating. Last component I need are some of these circuits. So, come on, solder. Solder faster. Thank you. Take these, put everything together into, ta-da, a calculator. All right. We also need a power cube. So this is like an energy receiver charger thingy, basically. Mystic iron. Did I never make this? Well, I can make it now. All right. Let's go smelt some of this up. And a power cube. So the power cube being like an RF battery, we need a way to get RF into it. Thankfully, there's some mod in this pack lets us use Ember as RF. So if I just connect this like so, and we link the two together, the transfer of Ember has a range limit, and I might be out of the range limit, I'm not quite sure, but it does not require line of sight. So, nope, I guess I'm inside that range limit. You can see the Ember flows into here and becomes RF. I don't know the exact conversion rate, but I know each burst is 10 Ember. So I guess each piece of Ember is 100 RF. That's not an awful rate. We can charge RF consuming devices in here, like the calculator, or, as the quest goes on to say, the building gadget. So all the usual gadgets are available to us. Building gadget, destruction gadget, so on and so forth. So we can charge these in here as well. Pretty nifty. The power cube does seem to be painfully slow at charging here. I don't know if there's a way to upgrade it, but it's charging at like 1 RF a tick, which instead of taking a while to charge the exchanging gadget, I'm going to try using the exchanging gadget to automatically swap out the ancient cobblestone there for regular cobblestone when it's full, just so it's, you know, one less step for me to mine that stuff. But anyways, cool dang, eat it. Nom, 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 nom. Anyways, let's move on. So next quest is to make a stone separator. And for this, we have to use the calculator. So the calculator has these recipes. It's really just like you take these two items and combine them to get this. So cobblestone and wood make reinforced stone. I think we can use any type of wood. So cobblestone and wood make reinforced stone. Simple as that. All this stuff ends up in my inventory because I always forget to like clear the crafting grid before I craft more. Anyways, at this point I think the stone separator is just a little bit of micro crafting. More power cubes. And what does this thing get? Reinforced iron. How do I do that? Iron plus reinforced stone makes reinforced iron. Looking at the exchanging gadget here, I don't think it has a lock mode. It can do surface, columns, but it can't do like a 3D block. So I don't think the exchanging gadget is quite the right tool for the job here, unfortunately. I guess I'll just stick to vein mining it, and then I could use a... Oh, I guess it wasn't even done yet. Oops. I could use the building gadget to replace the blocks, but I think I'm just gonna stick to using the trusty old diamond wand here, which works well enough. The stone separator here is a processing block. It uses a little bit of RF, and it can basically turn resources into their calculator variants. Looks like it can also chop wood and some other things. But mostly it's for turning like iron into reinforced iron more efficiently, or gold into enriched gold. Alright, so I believe the power cube can just directly output energy on all sides of it. Apparently not. This is not getting power. Does calculator have energy cables? If not, I'm going to have to I guess we can use integrated dynamics energy. Yeah, I don't see anything here that resembles an energy cable. I set up a energy battery from Integrated Dynamics. That's just, again, a energy cell of some sort. And then just like fluids, you connect it with an interface and export from there with an exporter. All right, so now we have a stone separator. What did we need to do with this? We need to get a scientific calculator. So I think, let's see, can't do the cheaty ways to get it, which means we have to just craft it. All right. Looking at this, we need this enriched gold, which is done by stone separating some gold ore. I should have some gold ore left over in here. Let's process 8 pieces of it for now. And I think it's just a matter of you put it in here and wait. It's a little slow, but if you get circuits, which is something that you might do later on. I don't see a quest for it though. But you can upgrade it. Anyways, this just works for now though. It produces enriched gold and small stone, which has no use. But this basically, you get 4 per ore yield, which is much better than making it this way, right? Where you get, oh no, you actually get 8 per if you do it, 8 per ore if you do it through the calculator. So I guess at the cost of redstone, it's actually more efficient to process it without the stone separator. Whatever. Let's go craft the scientific calculator now with more buttons. And a screen. Alright, so the scientific calculator, unlike the regular calculator, just has more modes to it. So while the regular calculator can do addition, the scientific calculator can do division. Ooh, fancy. It also needs to be charged to function. And a reward for that is some pretty good food. Oh, no. Got a bowl left behind. Alright, moving on. Let's see, the starch extractor can be a way to make power. So I think it lets you... that's how you make it. How exactly does it work? There's no tooltip. Does it say here in the quest? Requires a form of starch and furnace fuel. Well, I think we're going to pass on that. Right now our ember system seems to be fine, and if I need more power, I can just throw more ember crystals in here, right? One ember crystal produces something like 16, maybe 15,000 ember, and at 100 to 1 ratio, that's what, 15,000, 1.5 million RF per piece of ember. That seems like a decent ratio for me. In fact, I have 14 more ember crystals that I can queue up to be melted down. The only downside is it's a little bit slow, although not because the melting of ember is slow, but actually just because the pressure or the transport of ember is what's slow. So maybe I can like bypass having to go through all these energy cells and go directly from a pressure refinery to a energy cell. I'll think about that later. For now, though, I think that's all the time we have today. So let's wrap things up here. We'll come back next time and continue calculating our way towards the end of Chapter 3. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.